Feels good. Feels
Yo.
good, man. Feels great.
Hey, the boys, the number one team in the country. That's how we're starting this off. Yo, number one Tennessee Volunteers. You heard me?
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
y'all, banger episode today. We're joined by my man Tanner Dalton. Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's gonna be a banger. Turn, you ready to get it rocking, baby?
Let's get it.
Hey, it's the midweek chat. Let's get it.
The Northander sets the race onto the field. The pilots will be boarding the giant team that stretches from that north inbound on a cold day, becoming Lando as the big orange sets the race on the Shield Watkins Field, ladies and gentlemen, and wherever you are.
Yo. What's good, everybody? And welcome to Straight Up Tennessee. It's your boy, Ruck. You know I'm joined by my boy, Turner. And like I said, man, we got a great guest hopping on the show here in a few minutes. Tanner Dalton, man, he has mentored me, helped me, shaped me into a great worship leader, a great man. And so it's going to be an amazing show. But he's also coming on. We're going to chop it up about some Tennessee football today.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, like we said in the bonus episode, man, talk your stuff this week. We got so many Georgia fans talking crazy. Like I'm so tired of it because people just don't understand. Like we deserve this, bruh.
Well, see, I get so frustrated too because, people like, oh man, act like you've been here before. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. In '98, I was 5 years old. I don't remember it, so I ain't been here before. So I'm up. Okay, I'm up.
You hear me? Hey, listen, y'all. It's gonna be a crazy Saturday. We know what kind of tests we're facing, right? Like it's not like we're playing Kentucky. You know, we Kentucky's daddy. We've known that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we playing UT Martin. Like, I mean, we're playing. You know, I heard something today and it made so much sense, man. It's like if Tennessee loses to Georgia by 3, if Tennessee loses to Georgia by 1, 2, 3, 4, however it ends up shaking out, that lets you know legitimately, like, these two teams are even. Like, it's not like this huge separation thing. It's like these two teams are even, and you saw a great football game. And it's like if one of them blows the other out, then you're gonna know who's better. So it's like, what I'm trying to say is that 1 through 4 from us to Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, that Clemson is still weird to me. I'm like, I don't understand how they got up in there.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, those top 4 teams. I mean, there's a reason they're the top 4 teams in the country.
Right.
We got number 1 because we got the best resume.
Yeah.
Should have. I mean, that's why we got number 1, if we're being honest. But there's a reason those teams are in there, and like people getting honest in the comments, like, man, act like y'all have been here before. Like, y'all don't stand a chance with Georgia. Like, we're not saying Georgia's a bad football team. Georgia is a great football team. Ohio State is a great football team. I just think Tennessee's better.
I'm dead.
But they are good football team, and it's gonna be. I'm just.
This is why I love Turner, y'all. Like, Turner has the most unbiased but biased opinion in all of America. Like, man, Georgia good, Tennessee just better.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
y'all, listen, man. Joey Hosley, Brian Jean-Marie, Aaron Beasley, Jalen Hyatt, Hendon Hooker, all these guys got the opportunity this week to meet with the media. Man, I can listen to Jalen Hyatt talk every single session, bro. I mean, every time he touches the mic, you realize why he's in the position that he's in, bro. He is not about him. This man has the single season record in Tennessee history for touchdowns, and he could care less.
Yeah, man.
If they ain't getting somewhere, he could care less. And that's why, here's the difference. That's why we got Georgia scared. I'm not lying. Like, it's because nothing we've done, these guys are satisfied with. Like Heupel, you could see him yesterday. We talked about it in the bonus episode. He could not stop smirking that whole interview with Reese Davis and those guys from CFP. But like deep inside, Jason Swain said it to yesterday on the Swain event. He said, bruh, Tennessee just confident. Like Josh Heupel is confident. Like he is instilling the same energy into every player.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I just read a tweet a minute ago before we got on here about Vol calls. And, they said Josh Heupel was in the most loose mood that he's ever been in Vol calls. And he's got the biggest game of his coaching career 3 days ahead. And, they're asking about the game. He's like, asking about being number one. He's like, it's great. It's fantastic. We're number one. But the mentality of our head coach, from him saying, listen, I know we're number one, but we've still got work to do. We've still got to get better.
Yeah.
And his mentality rubs off on these players. I mean, it's like you said, listen to Jalen Hyatt, listen to Hendon Hooker, listen to anybody. Like they don't care how they win. Jalen Hyatt don't care that if he gets his, he just wants the team to win.
That's facts. That's facts, bro. That's facts. Man, like I told y'all, it's the midweek chat. We just chopping it up today. And what a better way to bring the midweek chat to you by bringing a guest on. But before we bring Tanner on, I got to let you know about our Tennessee Sporting Goods merch store. Like we've told you guys, man, we have partnered with Tennessee Sporting Goods out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and they are the sole provider of all straight up Tennessee merchandise, hats, T-shirts, everything that we could think of coming up with and designing, they will be printing and producing. They are partnering with us along the way, like I said, to be the sole provider. And Tennessee Sporting Goods, man, they're more than just T-shirts, hats. They're people. They're people who have lived, breathed, and slept in Knoxville forever. It's been in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1951. If you need anything from uniforms, team uniforms, sports merchandise, sports different, all the things, chin straps, basketballs, whatever you need. All you got to do is call 865-688-5454. Jared, Taylor, Melody, they will take great care of you. Our website for our Straight Up Tennessee store is on the way. So hopefully by next week, we will have all of our products live. And remember, you're going to get 20% off on our website. And if you mention Straight Up Tennessee when shopping at Tennessee Sporting Goods, or if you call Tennessee Sporting Goods and place a large order, remember, mention Straight Up Tennessee, and there will also be a discount for you as well. So, man, when we come back right here, man, we're going to bring on TD, y'all. And we're going to have a banger rest of the midweek chat, man. Let's go. Yo, welcome back, man. Look, y'all, we took a quick about 3, 4, 5 second break. Y'all, it's time to bring on my boy, man. Tanner, what it do, baby?
What's up, you guys? What's up, man? Let's just Straight Up Tennessee.
Hey, welcome to Straight Up Tennessee, baby.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, Tanner, bro, thank you for hopping on the show today, man, for the midweek chat, bro. We've been cooking this up for a minute, and now you're here.
Just cooking it up, baby.
Look at Tanner camera and look at ours. Like if you're on YouTube, look at the boy T, and then look at us. Your boy, I'm in a hotel. Turner, you don't even know if Turner is outside or inside. And then
my lights ain't working.
And then Tanner got the man. He just
listen, Ruck. You gave me all the pointers though. You just said Amazon this, and I did. So
it's facts. It is facts. Hey, y'all. If y'all try to start a podcast, Amazon got them lights, and they be hitting.
Yeah.
That's why Tanner glistening. You hear me?
Yeah, just a little glow. Just a little glow.
Y'all, man, we're gonna chop it up here for a few, man. There's a lot of ways we're gonna take this thing, but Tanner, before we kind of dive in. Bro, tell the people just a little bit about you. Like, why Tennessee? Like, where's your love for the Vols come from?
Yeah, man. I mean, I grew up in Middle Tennessee. So I grew up with Peyton Manning was everything. I'm a little older than you guys. And so I remember having an orange bedroom, even more orange than this, believe it or not. And I had a Peyton Manning jersey on the wall, and then I had a T. Martin jersey right next to that. And so I do remember the glory days, but I was just like a little, preteen, little tween. And I And so I fell in love with the Vols early, and then kind of fast forward, I didn't go there for college. I don't know why. It's kind of like a mystery. Still trying to figure that one out. And but my wife decided to go to law school there, so we ended up in Knoxville for 3 years. And man, I got it bad in those 3 years. Like it got in my veins, in my blood, And so then when we moved back to Nashville, gosh, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, every single Friday before a game, I'm like, if I'm not already planning on going to the game, I'm scheming like, what could I cancel to make my way to Knoxville? Because it just isn't the same. I mean, watching TV is just not the same, man. You got to be there and watch them run through the tee. And
like, that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, yeah, they running through the T, Neyland Stadium. Like, y'all, like, people don't understand like that. I've been to other universities' games, and I'm literally like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you got better concessions than we do in Neyland. Yep, you do. You got better bathrooms, but your environment when the game starts and it's 15 minutes on the clock, it's just like crickets.
Yeah, you can have those concessions and bathrooms, man.
Hey, man, listen, y'all. When we talk about this year, Tanner, I have been wanting to ask you this. When we started 2022 in the football season, what was your initial reaction? Hey, game one, what was your score? Like, what did you think Tennessee would go this year?
Yeah, I think so. I'm maybe one of you can side with me on this. I'm generally an optimist. Like, I err on the side of a higher than probable record. And I think I said I genuinely think we could go 10-2. And then, like, to my bros, I'd be like, we could go 11-1. You know, like, yeah. But genuine, I was like, I mean, I will be happy if we're 9-3. And but even still though, going into to that first game, who do we play first?
Ball State.
Ball State. Yeah. That's right. MAC conference. I still kind of had like a little bit of Georgia State in me still. Like, there was still a little bit of discomfort.
You know what that's called? Battered ball syndrome.
I know what it is. Yeah. So, I mean, but no, there's no way I could have possibly imagined we would be where we are here post the first, college football playoff show of the year. No way.
No, bro. And the thing about it is, we can win Saturday.
Yeah, man, we can.
Like,
and I think
we can win Saturday.
We can 100%. And I think I literally got my nerves working today. I was at work and got to thinking about this game, and I was like all worked up about it. And, I had to tell myself, and, as Tennessee fans, like, we have to know going into this game, we can win 100%. But if we lose, we can't be mad. You can't be mad as a Tennessee fan. I mean, if we lose one game this year and that game's Georgia, I'm head over heels. I'm like on cloud 9.
Absolutely.
And I think
I'm still mad though.
Yeah, 100%. Because at the same time, it's like Tennessee fans are the worst at that. It's like, oh man, we didn't go undefeated. We got beat by Georgia. We had that one loss season, and we wouldn't. I mean, it's like, hey man, it's Josh Heupel's second year at UT, and we're 8-0 going into Georgia. I would have never thought that. Kind of going back to your question, I would have never thought that in a million years. Just being honest, I said 10-2, going into, and that was high, and that was
9-3. I was set on 9-3.
I remember we talked, and we were like, we both said it before the season started. I was like, 8-4, I'm still happy. You know what I mean? I'm still
That's
happy.
Progress. 8-4 is still progress.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Josh Heupel said, "Nah, I got something better for you."
Nah.
Man, who would have thought a year and a half ago, like, we'd be where we are? Like, and I'm telling y'all, this is me as a football fan. I just didn't realize how much better football was when Tennessee is good. People hating. It is amazing. Like, we got haters, bro. Like, people are upset.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Upset.
Are y'all flying your car flags right now? I am.
Oh,
But I got
hey.
people cutting me off in traffic. I mean,
He said, I brought the flags back out for this
Yeah, I
year,
got
bro.
the
Yeah.
flags out this year, man. It's real.
I was
Tanner.
driving and I saw a car pass by and they had their flags, and I was like, "Are they a bigger fan than me?" Like, no, I gotta put my flags up.
I gotta go in my closet, get mine.
Hey, facts. Tanner, let me ask you this, bro. Now, I said this in the bonus episode, and I want to get your thoughts on it, bro. I firmly believe if Tennessee gets over this, because like every game now is a big game. Now, I don't look at next week and playing Missouri. I'm like I was going to the game, I sold my tickets. Like, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'd rather go to Vandy, living in the area. I'm like, I'll go to the Vandy game when we checker their home stadium. It's gonna be amazing. But I said this, bro, and I firmly believe it. If Tennessee gets over the hump Saturday and beats Georgia in Georgia, we win in the Natty.
Yeah, I don't think there's any stopping this team. Like, I agree completely, because I do think this is going to be the game we look back to for this season. And I mean, I went back and watched a ton of film. I don't know if Georgia's better than Ohio State. I haven't watched any of Ohio State. But I do agree, just by the sheer like going on the road with all of the pressure that's now on them because of the rankings. Yeah, you get past this, it's like it's a cakewalk through the regular season after this game, and then I mean, I think we may be sitting here having the same conversation about the SEC championship game, depending on who that is. But in regards to just the overall momentum that they're riding, there's a wave they're riding right now, and if they topple over UGA, then dude, it's a tsunami. Like, no one can stop it.
That's true. I believe it. And I don't want to hear, and people talking about, you can't forget about Clemson. I'm like, bro, give me Clemson tonight. Like, if they call and was like, hey, let's play, bro, we still win by 20.
Yeah.
I promise you.
You know, and I feel like some Tennessee fans are still holding on to like that old Tennessee. Like me and you talked about it. I think the Pitt game was Tennessee getting over that hump.
I do too.
Getting over that old Tennessee, because old Tennessee, we don't win in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Old Tennessee loses in overtime, and I think that was the hump. Because look back at the Florida game, we all had that. Oh, here comes Tennessee. They're coming back. Florida's coming back. It's like, oh frick. Here comes Tennessee. And you know, at the same time, like I caught myself today. I said I was sitting here thinking about this game today. The old Tennessee comes out. It's like, man, we hadn't had that game that we just hadn't played well. And at the same time, it's like, well, is it that we hadn't played well, or are we just really that good? You know what I mean? It's like you got to look at it from both perspectives. It's like, man, we really might just be that good. Because everybody's talking about, this is just my personal opinion, everybody's talking about like our offense played lots out against Kentucky. I thought our offense did great, but I don't think we were clicking on all cylinders for Kentucky.
Anytime you see a false start penalty like we saw when Hendon claps and everybody runs, I was like, I literally was watching that play. I was like, what is going on? I was like, we ain't locked in. And you still bust them. So it's like, it's like I explained, bro. It's like, this is the team where you can have some mistakes like that. You can fumble. Like I said this, you can fumble when it's 42-42 on minus territory and Dallas Turner picks the ball up and runs it in. And you're so locked in that you're like, I don't care. Let's go score. And we did. Like this team, and that's how Tennessee is built. We're built to be successful like that. And so when you look at a game like Georgia, you look at this week, there are so many similarities in the teams. We talked all about this on the Who is Georgia episode on Tuesday, but like there's so much similarities. And here's the one thing that is not similar in this entire year is that Georgia has not been tested. Tennessee, I don't care what y'all say. Like everyone's like, they ain't played nobody either. Bruh, We didn't struggle with no Ball State. You struggle with Kent State. Like, don't call me with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
don't call me with that. That's crazy.
No,
Sorry.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So
Go ahead,
my thing is this: when you have a team that's not been tested, that is, I mean, yes, Georgia is Georgia. They're gonna be great. Saturday, I'm interested. Now, this is me on a Thursday. This is me saying, yes, they're gonna play up, man. Georgia's gonna play up to their competition. That's how competitors play. You're gonna play up to your competition. I just hope they ready, because I just feel like if we do to Georgia what we did to Alabama early, they can't hang, bro. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. I really don't. If we get up 28-10 or something crazy like that, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah, I don't think they're built to come back from behind just by watching. You know, they're really their only deep threat is Bowers, that they've shown. You know, like they go to what's the other kid's name? The wide
Lad
receiver.
McConkey.
They go to Lab, man. First of all, man, just hit that kid. One Slaughter gets a hold of him one time, and that guy's not coming back. He's little, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But you know, just from what I watched, I went back and watched the highlights at least for, you know, the Kent State, the Mizzou game, and just I just honestly was kind of shocked at how slowly they scored. Like they would put on points, but a lot of times it was fourth quarter. And so like, I think there's so much to be said for if we are violent in the fourth quarter, which we can be because our line is so deep now, on the defensive side. I think that's what they pull from. That's their well that they go to, is they hang in there. They don't score a lot of points early, and then they try to pile it on at the end. They did it with Florida. I mean, they let Florida back in that game. And honestly, Florida had no business being in that game. Yeah. I just don't see them coming back if we get up like we did against Bama. They don't have Bryce Young.
That's the factor. That's exactly right.
It is, man. And it kind of goes back to what y'all were saying about strength of schedule with Georgia. And I'll say it before I say anything about Georgia. Georgia's a fantastic football team. I think Georgia's a great football team. But strength of schedule says a lot. And, you know, when you're not playing good competition, you could put Jarrett Garantano back there at quarterback, and he's going to find somebody in 8 to 10 seconds. Just being honest.
Yeah.
I mean, not disrespecting Stetson Bennett, but if you go back and watch film on Georgia, Stetson Bennett has 8 to 10 seconds to find somebody, and somebody's gonna be open sitting in the zone somewhere.
Yep.
And honestly, go back and watching highlights and stuff. Some of his, I don't want to say most, but some of the plays are predetermined.
Oh yeah, he's going there regardless.
Especially when it comes to Bowers. To Bowers.
I didn't think about, bro, that ball last week that Brock Bowers scored the 70-something yard touchdown on. Terrible
just
throw.
fell in his hands.
Yeah, that should have been a pick. That should have been a pick.
The DB dropped the football. Like, let's just be real. That's a pick.
Yeah. I think every team's gonna have that type of play. But I'm just saying, like, McConkey and I just said his name. Tight end. Bowers. If you can shut them down, I like our chances.
Oh yeah, and here's my thing: it's not shut them down; it's slow them down. Brock Bowers gonna get his. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He gonna have 5 to 7 catches, but he cannot have an explosive play. If he catching 10, 15, cool, have it, take it, bro. It's the 60s, the 70-yard catch after runs that he's dangerous, and we cannot allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Mizzou was living on forcing them to kick field goals. And it'll be interesting to see if Kirby changes his approach, because he settled for field goals the entire game. And what we've seen with all these opposing coaches is it messes with them, man. It changes the way they would naturally coach. They start trying to go for it on fourth down, you know, and I don't know. They're either going to do one of those two, and I don't think either of them is a winning recipe for beating us. So, yeah, we're a bad matchup for most teams out there.
We want you to end up playing like we do. If you do that, you're screwed, buddy. I promise.
I mean, look at you're just talking about coaching and affects the way we play affects coaching. Look at Nick Saban there at the end of the game against Alabama. Some of those play calls he was making, that is not Nick Saban.
No, Tanner. All. Dude, we talked about this, Turner. You remember, bro? This is a great point. We were at the game. You were at that game, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how
pictures right there.
me and Austin were talking after the game, and I said, Turner, did you realize something? I said, how in the world does a Nick Saban coach team not get the ball in the hands of Jahmyr Gibbs once on that last drive? Man. How? And the one time that he got the ball, he dropped the football and they didn't even run it. They didn't run it once the last drive. Man. I was like, this is what we do this is what Josh Heupel does. Like, he forces you to play out of your wheelhouse, bro.
Because, I mean, you think about it, Nick Saban knew that if he wanted to put this game away, he was going to have to get the ball in the end zone. A field goal ain't going to cut it. And we proved that with 15 seconds to go. So that's why he's passing the football and not running the football. He's not being Nick Saban, because he's like, man, I got to get the ball in the end zone, because if I give them 10 seconds, they're going to have 2 plays and kick a field goal. And we did.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, he said, did we end up sacking Bryce there right before the field goal? I'm trying to remember. But I feel like at one point they actually had better field position before, like, they ended up losing field position because they were trying to get better field position. And his excuse in his press conference was, we're just trying to get closer, which I'm like, you can get it closer by running the ball and you can keep the clock running. Like, this, it was just, I mean, and in the moment, I'm like, good stop. And the whole time I'm thinking, they keep throwing it and the clock keeps stopping. Like,
it makes zero sense.
That's what I can't get either, man. Like, why, as Alabama, knowing Nick Saban, if you're, I don't know, it's just crazy. I guess he was trying to get the ball in the end zone.
Didn't he make us use our timeouts?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like make us use our timeouts, or make us to where, I'm surprised he didn't make it to where he kicked the field goal and there was no time left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, Heupel would have done that like clockwork.
He ain't stupid. Like, and that's why, that's what I'm not nervous, but that's what I'm almost excited to see, is like, what happens Saturday? Like, what does Georgia do? Because something's got to give, y'all. And my thing is this, bro. We are going to score. It's simple. Yep. We're going to score. And you can't tell me otherwise. I talked about this on Tuesday's show. Georgia's defensive backfield is 2 sophomores, a freshman, and a senior. Are you I don't care how good they are.
What's the senior's name? I know who you're talking about, though. He's the guy
Smith Jr. or something like that.
Yeah. No, I noticed that Kent State was running naked, bro. Like, they were burning those DBs with MAC conference wide receivers. I mean, Heupel was watching that, just like,
he's licking his chops, bro.
Yeah, man.
Y'all, I just got to tell you, that line is at 8 now.
Yeah, 8
-8.
It's gonna keep on dropping.
It's gonna keep dropping. The FPI dropping.
What does the FPI go to?
It's 74.5 to 25.5.
Oh yeah,
keeps going.
90% of the money has come in on Tennessee. 90%.
Gosh, man,
it's setting up just like the Bama game, though, man.
It is. It really is. It really is. And I'm telling you, and I say this all the time, but this is really one of those games where after the first quarter, we're gonna know what this game gonna be like.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I knew when we went up crazy on Bama, I was like, they got Bryce Young. He gonna be back in the game. Like, it's gonna get tighter again. Yeah. I didn't know how. But I was like, Bryce Young, he's Bryce Young. But now with Stetson Bennett, I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect.
It's funny you say that. Tell me what you thought, though, after Kentucky methodically walked it down there and scored right after we scored. I was okay, settle in. It's going to be a long one.
Honestly, let me tell you the honest truth. After watching that drive, I knew here's when I knew. When we blocked the field goal, I was like, game over. I was like, they're deflated. Like, because Turner even brought this up. He was like, bro, how did y'all go down the field, score on Tennessee, and y'all wasn't even excited after y'all scored?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, they just walked off the field. Like,
yeah.
I was like, dude, y'all don't understand. Like, and you missed the field goal. I said, it's game over. Game over.
Game over.
Bro, I've been hearing so many comparisons. Okay.
Here we go.
I've been hearing like this 2022 team is so much like LSU in 2019. Like,
yeah.
I hate hearing that, but like you gotta own it.
You got to.
You gotta own it. I mean, bro, look at the numbers. Like Hendon Hooker's year compared to Joe Burrow's year. Like let's talk about this, bro.
Yeah. Bro. I mean, so this was fun. I sent Ruck, I sent you this today. The 2019 LSU debuted, like when this is 2019 playoff debut. They were second. And the next week they were 8-0. They had to play number 3 Alabama at Alabama. They were Alabama was favored by 6.5 by the time the game was played. And the ESPN FPI had Alabama as 75% and LSU at 25%. I mean, crazy, you can't make this up, man.
Like, bro, you cannot. Dude, the line can get to 6.5 before Saturday.
I think so.
Well, check out these stats for the LSU 2019 and 2022. LSU 2019 points per game 48.4. Tennessee this year 49.3. 2019 LSU opponent points per game 21.9. Tennessee 21. Yards per play 2019 LSU 7.9. Tennessee 7.4.
Pause on that 1 second. Everybody, I need y'all to listen to something really fast, okay? I just remembered this. That LSU defense that year was doo-doo. Like, do y'all actually remember watching them?
I don't see. I the stats are showing me that. I didn't remember that.
Dude, because the offense was so good.
They were that good.
That's why I'm sitting here like, oh my God, Tennessee's defense they're not going to stop Georgia. When you got Jalen Hyatt, when you got Cedric Tillman, when you got Brew McCoy, when you got Hendon Hooker, you got Jabari Small, you got Jalen Wright, when you got all these weapons, when you got Joe Burrow, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you got Jamar Chase, you got Justin Jefferson. Pick your poison, bro. You got to stop us too.
Yeah. Dude, I heard a guy, an analyst on, this is getting away from LSU, we can go back there. He's I forget his name, but he's on 104.5 here in Nashville. He said that Hyatt and Tillman would be the number 1 and number 2 at Georgia. Like, let that sink in. They would be the top 2 wide receivers there. How often have we gotten to say that?
Look, dude.
In recent history.
And here's what's funny and what's scary to me. Cedric Tillman ain't even had his best game this year. This man was on a pitch count last week. You think this week he ain't finna eat? Dude,
watch this. What if Tillman rolls up 5 touchdowns?
He gonna be doing a lot of this.
His game. He'll do his game. Oh yeah, he'll do this.
He'll be like this, and then he'll be like this. So Turner, keep rolling them stats off, bro. Like I'm sitting here just like, yeah, people just forgot how bad that LSU defense was. And our defense, bro, please tell me y'all saw what Vol football put out. We're the number 1 scoring defense in the SEC.
What are we, number 4 in turnovers?
Bro, I got to go look it up.
We have had a lot of turnovers. And, dude, that is something Georgia has done consistently this year. They love to cough that ball up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so here it is. We are number 1 in the SEC. Sorry, not scoring. We're number 1 in the SEC in forced turnovers, 16. We forced 16 turnovers. That's number 14 in the nation, number 1 in the SEC. We have 9 picks, number 1 in the SEC.
Wow.
I don't care about your defensive backs, Georgia. Obviously, when people have said that our secondary is not as good, I'm like, y'all, we've not been opportunistic. We've been okay. Yes, we've given up tons of yards early in the season. Go back since even LSU. Let's take it from LSU to now. Complete 360 in pass coverage. Other than Bryce Young, and Bryce Young is Bryce freaking Young. He's doing that on everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So sorry, Turner. That was a Ruck rant.
No, you good. I only had one more. 2019 yards per game, 568.4 for LSU. Tennessee, 553. I mean, we're almost spot on everything.
That's wild.
It's unbelievable is what it is.
Like
Georgia
what even about Hendon Hooker's numbers compared to Joe Burrow?
Oh man.
Like
I'd have to look, man. It's
like these two cats, and they're both in the same year of the system when they got to the national championship.
Yeah. They both had like above average first years.
Yep.
And then no one expected to have the second year that both of them had.
well, I mean, just kind of going back to like, our defense and stuff. Like everybody says our defense is trash this year, which they have struggled in the secondary. But I'm looking at the stats from this Florida game. Total yards for Florida, they had 594 total yards against us.
That's really bad.
We had 576. Okay.
Yeah.
That right there goes to show me that when our defense needs to step up, they're going to step up, because that 38-33 score, it was worse than that.
It was.
Yeah. That did not give an accurate picture of how we dominated that game.
We did.
Yeah.
It was 38-21 with 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think when it comes time for our defense to step up, our defense is going to step up. Our third down from last year to this year is completely different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the injuries we had and Jalen McCullough's whole thing may actually ended up being something that galvanized that secondary, because now you got Nico out there who's just blowing people up, and he wasn't even getting on the field much, and now you got him starting at corner, and I don't know how you don't start him again, because I mean, geez, he was a difference maker.
He was.
And then,
Yeah.
man, yeah, I was very impressed by him, and they seem to play with a whole lot more confidence against Kentucky than I've seen our defense play with in a long time.
That's facts.
And absolutely.
Me and Turn talk about this all the time, bro. Like, some dudes are just gamers. Like they suck in practice. Like they just do. And I mean, maybe Danico Slaughter's that way. I really think Brandon Turnage is that way, because
Turnage, man.
Over the last 2 weeks, I'm like, that is the Turnage that we saw last year in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, that's him. The way he literally baited Will Levis to a core. He baited him the whole time. He just sat there, just kept jumping. And then Will was like, all right, I'm going to throw it. Pick. Like, that's the stuff. Like, at corner, you got to play with instinct. And Danico Slaughter, man, those two guys back there, I am very interested to see what this rotation looks like, because Josh Heupel has said this week, we're going to be the healthiest team we've been all year.
Man, I think in the secondary, man, I think, I sent in a question to Locked On Vols Twitter Tuesday.
Shout out Eric Kane. Shout out
Kaner. Kaner.
And I asked him, I was like, man, what do you think about our secondary? Like, do you think Danico Slaughter's like earned a starting position? And he was like, man, yeah, absolutely. He said, Slaughter proved to me last week that he needs to be the starter for this game. And I agree with that. Danico Slaughter needs to be our starting corner. I've heard Christian Charles is out for this game still. Kamal Haddon was dressed out last week.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know if maybe he was like a last, just in case we need him.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but hopefully he's back, and you got Haddon and Slaughter and McCullough back and Flowers, and Wesley Walker needs to see that field a lot at the star position this week.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Especially covering Brock Bowers. Because dude, they put Brock Bowers in so many different. Here's the difference. Brock Bowers is their Jalen Hyatt for us.
Okay,
However, go ahead.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Okay, just no. What do you do from like a, I don't want to say a coaching perspective, but from an outsider's perspective? Bowers is Stetson's go guy. go-to guy.
Yep.
Do we as Tennessee assign a certain player and be like, hey, Bowers is your guy all night. Wherever he goes, you go. Or do you just play it straight up and wherever he lines up, it could be a backer. It could be Tamari McDonald. It could be Wesley Walker. What do y'all think?
What do I think that we'll do, or what would I do?
Bo, what do you think we should do?
The only thing I would say is wherever he lines up, I cannot have a linebacker on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I don't care how much bigger he is than any corner. He ain't faster than them corners. So
Yeah,
he's fast. He's receiver fast, but he's not. So I'm like, the only thing I can't have is a linebacker on him. Other than that, I like my chances. And honestly, I'm probably playing a lot of cover 2 because he does most of his damage between 10 and 20 yards.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
like I'm not gonna play a ton of man on him. I'll press outsides. Lad McConkey, he weighs every bit of 92 pounds. So I'm pressing him, put Slaughter on him. I mean, I saw Slaughter put Dane Key through the blender. So I'm like,
I need that on repeat in my life.
So when you talk about it, it's just I could not allow a linebacker on Brock Bowers. That's a matchup.
It's the same reason why other teams can't afford to allow it to happen with them and Hyatt. When they do it, we score. Like it's that simple. What did they say that I need to go back and watch it, but I heard someone say when Hyatt beat one of the linebackers, one of his 2 touchdowns against Kentucky, the linebacker just stopped running. He didn't even try. He just gave up.
He literally turned his neck, saw Hyatt. He was like, man, I'm going back to the side.
I ain't catching that guy.
Well,
I think it's the same way.
Yeah. How we got that mismatch in the first place blows my mind. But anyways,
it's okay. Let's talk about this too, Tanner. We talk about this a lot, but I want to get your point of view. How does Josh Heupel scheme these guys wide open? Like, they are wide open.
Yeah. Dude, I went back and watched last year's Georgia game, just kind of skimmed through it. And he did the same thing then. Like, he had Velus Jones wide open that we missed. Like, I don't know how, but I know it's consistent. And it's not just this season. I just think he's got Hendon locked in to where he's throwing balls that they can catch. He's not trying to, throw, which I hope Milton's kind of getting some of that too for the sake of next season. But and you got Hyatt's got more wheels than Velus had. So, but I definitely think it's got to have something to do with the confidence he has in Hendo, and then Hendon's intelligence to be able to make shifts on the line, like subtle stuff. Like, and when you watch the zoomed in on Hyatt, it's like the rub stuff that he does. It's almost like he's acting, like he kind of like he's got to be doing something in the moment that's causing these safeties to bite on the crossing route every single time. And then he's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm good now. Yeah.
And yeah, man. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, bringing Tillman back and having Tillman and Hyatt on the same side. I mean, you run that deep post wheel. I mean,
Lethal.
That's tough. That's tough because that safety, he's like, oh, here comes Tillman across the middle of the field. Do I go? Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Because we talked about this kind of in our not last episode, but the day before. Like, if we can give Hendon Hooker time for those plays, deep balls to develop, that safety is either going to have to pick to go to the middle of the field with Tillman or deep ball with Hyatt. And I mean, what do you do? Because those are 2 deadly forces out there.
Yeah,
it is. It's a lot for me. It's a lot of how they line Jalen up, right?
Yeah.
So there are times where you'll have 3 high. And when I mean that, it's you got Brew on an island by himself, and then you got Cedric, Jalen, and then a tight end, right? So they got 3 high, 1 on. So it's like a quad formation. They will motion the tight end. Not even the guy that's getting the football. They will put the tight end. Now it's Dubs, right? So now you got Hyatt, Tillman on one side, and then you've got P. Fan or Jacob Warren and Brew on the other side. They motion him over. And for some reason, that messes with everybody. Then you've got this. Then you got the stacked formation. Jalen Hyatt's behind Cedric Tillman.
Yeah.
They don't know if it's a screen and go. They don't know if it's that post wheel. They don't know if it's just a one-man route, and Tillman's just running a quick slant. And then you've got the stacked, when they stack them all the way to the sideline, they motion Jalen, but he ain't going all the way over. He just going to the inside slot. And it's like the way that they move this guy and move everybody, it makes these DBs literally lost. They get lost.
And
dude, I got to go back to – go ahead, Turner.
No, dude, you good, man. Go ahead.
I said I got to go back to Brian Kelly's comments before we played him. It's just like, in the hurry up offense, you can't do emotions. Like, it affects the offense too. It's like, dude, we do everything we do is on the back of motioning receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, I think we did. This is just my personal opinion. I think we did this to give Georgia something else to prepare for. How about us coming out against Kentucky first play of the game, motioning Jabari out and going empty?
First play, yeah. And it was just a quick, and it wasn't even going to his side.
No, because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, we're empty first play, and we came out double wide. That almost that whole first drive, and I was like, man, okay. I was honestly waiting for a QB draw because I was like, we trying to spread the field. Hendo's going to take off for about 15, 20 yards. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah,
but just the looks that we get, man, it's impressive. The motions and it confuses me just trying to watch everybody.
Oh yeah. I really do believe this, man. Like, turning the corner on this episode, y'all. Again, man, like, comment, subscribe, join the channel. Hit that bell notification if you're on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, man. Download the episode. It just helps with analytics. Y'all rocking with Straight Up Tennessee. We love you. We thank you, man. We are on our way, bro, to 400 subscribers on YouTube. Like, let's go. I think we're only like 20 something away. Like, this is crazy, y'all. Keep blowing it up. And I'm just gonna plug this real quick, and this is the only time I'm gonna do this. Y'all talking about a Straight Up Tennessee Talking Vols collab? Make it happen. I don't know who we got to talk to. How do we get in contact with Boogie? Who knows, man? We would love to chop it up with Boogie Bentley. All of them are Talking Vols. We watch your videos all the time. We watch the live shows. We watch everything. It would be amazing to collaborate. But we turned in the corner on this one, man. Tanner, thank you for being on today, bro. It's
thank you, guys.
Fire. We're gonna have to do this. I feel like we're gonna have to do this more often, first of all. But there's two questions, bro. We always ask our guests heading in to the game. Where's two questions? The first one, in your opinion, on offense and defense, who has to be the best player on the field? We call them our playmakers. Who has to be the playmaker for Tennessee on offense and defense for us to win this game?
Yeah, offense, I'm going to go. This is what I've been feeling all day is Jalen Wright. Dude, I just feel like if we can run 150 on Georgia, we win the ball game.
What did I say? What did I freaking say Tuesday? I said 150. And I said this, Tanner. I said, that's not Hendon's numbers.
No.
That's the backs. No. Both of them.
Yeah. And then on defense, man, I love him. I'm going to say Big O. I think he can be disruptive from the interior right there, man. And that I mean, I watched, he's got wheels, but when you get Stetson's head, man, he's been sacked several times this year. He is very gettable. He's not Bryce. And so we come from the interior. It's going to force him out, and it's going to make him uncomfortable. And I think that's when he throws picks. That's when all chaos ensues. So those are my two.
Man, Jay Wright. You said Jabari, didn't you?
Oh, I did. My bad. No, did I say Jabari?
You said Jay. No, I'm talking about Turner. Didn't you say Jabari?
Did you say Jabari?
Oh, is it my turn?
No, I'm saying this week, like Tuesday, you said Jabari. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he said Jalen. So y'all both picked the running backs.
There we go.
Yeah. I said
it may be Jabari's turn, though. It may be Jabari's turn to rip off 120.
I think it's Jabari's coming out party.
Dude, he does run so hard.
I think it's Jabari's. This number one running back spot is mine type of game.
It's hold my beer.
Dude, I think it is because I think not trying to sit here and rant for a minute, but I think this is just my personal opinion. I think Kirby Smart is going to try to do his best Not saying he's going to succeed, but I think he's going to try to do his best to take away our deep ball. And I think he's going to make us try to beat them with, 5-yard runs, 7-yard runs, 10 to 15-yard passes, 5-yard passes. I think he's going to try to make us put together 7, 8, 10 play drives instead of 3 and 4. And I think Jabari Small has a come out party.
Can I ask you something, Turner?
Let's hear it.
Ask Nick Saban how that felt for him.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't say he was going to be successful. I was just saying I think that's what he's going to try to do.
Oh, man. Hey, last question, bro. What's your score prediction? What's the final score when the clock hit 4 zeros?
I got you. So I think there's definitely going to be a lot of touchdowns. There's going to be some funny business for sure. But man, I've been saying all week, like, I don't know. There's something about the confidence that I've got. I think it's off of Josh Heupel. When I look at it, I'm like, man, I just think we're a mismatch. I think we win by 2 scores. Like, I don't think it's like Alabama. I think it's like the Alabama game, but I think we're a better football team now than we were then. And I think Georgia knows that. I think the Georgia fans that are honest know that, because all my Georgia fans haven't been barking this week. Like, I think there's a part of them that's like, yeah, it's at home, but we don't want to play this game right now. So I got Vols 41, Georgia 31.
I like that.
I do too.
Dude, how good would it feel to go into the fourth with like 6 minutes to go and you're like, it's over. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that feels good.
Yeah. Light up that cigar. We'll start a new tradition. Just every game, like Joe Burrow did in the Natty. Every game.
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all.
That's
Turner,
awesome.
you got anything else, bro?
No, dude, I'm 100% good.
This midweek chat, I told y'all it was gonna be a
go.
banger, man. Tanner, we're gonna have to get you back on. I don't know when. I don't know if it's Wednesday, just midweek chat with TD. Who knows? I mean, shoot, like, hey, if y'all like it, man, throw the oranges in the chat. All orange. Just throw them in there, and because we might have to do this, man. But look, y'all, again, we'll be back tomorrow, man, for the one more day. Y'all know how I get on Fridays. I just get like, I'm laser focused. My hands don't shake no more. I'm just locked in, and I'm gonna talk crazy, and I can't wait. So,
you just said the day before, and my whole body just tingled like got nervous, because that's what I do. That's what I do is I get nervous on that day before.
Well, I need you to remember this, Turner. This won't make you nervous, man. Your number 1 Tennessee Volunteers face off against the Georgia Bulldogs on Saturday at 3:30 on CBS. Again, if you are a Vols fan and you can get to Athens, walk if you can, drive, whatever you got to do. You ain't even, and I said this, bro, I'm serious. You ain't even got to go in the game. Be outside, talk crazy. Let these people know that we coming in this thing with some vengeance, and we coming to play. So thank y'all again for rocking with Straight Up Tennessee. Thank you for all the support, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere, man. We can't wait to see you back on the one more day, because it's almost football time in Tennessee. Hey, for my man Tanner, for my boy Turner, it's your boy Ruck, and you already know what it is. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby.